Now, the Triple Crown is a term used in motorsport to describe the three biggest achievements that you can have in a particular category or style of racing. The earliest reference to a Triple Crown, and still the most common, is winning the Indy 500, the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and the Monaco Grand Prix, although that is sometimes switched out for winning the entire Formula 1 World Championship altogether. Either way, only Graham Hill has managed to achieve this outstanding feat, winning all three races as well as the F1 World Championship twice. In actual race weekends themselves, we refer to the Triple Crown as getting pole position, winning the race, and also getting the fastest lap. Across motorsport, we see many Triple Crowns. For example, in Australia, the Triple Crown refers to winning the Sandown 500, the Bathurst 1000, and the Supercars Championship. In Japanese motorsport, it's Japanese Formula 3, Super Formula, and Super GT. No, not him, the racing category. The only driver to have completed the Japanese Triple Crown is Formula E driver Nick Cassidy. But with that, we're about to enter a brand new, unofficial Triple Crown into the motorsport books. Introducing Gran Turismo's Manufacturer Series, where this season we are racing for Lamborghini. Now, typically you have 3 racing slots on its given day, and it's not very often that I manage to do all 3. Normally, I'll only manage to get 1 or 2. But this one was a little bit different. We had the Group 3s, in our case the Lamborghini GT3, at Autopolis for 15 laps, where we had to use the hard and medium tyres. My challenge here was to enter all 3 races and hopefully win all 3. Not only did we have to be quick, we had to do our best to avoid losing any time around a track that is incredibly difficult to overtake and incredibly time consuming to battle side by side. Strategy would be absolutely everything in all 3 of these races, as well as on-track performance. We're going to see exactly how we got on, and let's start with qualifying at race number 1. So welcome to qualifying, where stupidly I wasn't recording our first lap, but it was quick enough for provisional pole. You join us then on our second lap, where our attempt didn't quite go as well with this little mistake. Ah! With that, we abandoned our lap, headed for the pits, and luckily held on to pole position with nobody else improving on their second lap either. It was time then to jump straight into the first attempt after we decided to start on the hard tyres for the race. Oh, brake balance. Ah! No, that's fuel map. I don't want that. Go! Right, just do not look behind. Do not look behind. Please don't kill us into turn 1. Oh, the understeer. We've been hit. We've been hit already. I'm going to get the feeling they are on the mediums. Yeah, I'm definitely getting the feeling that they're on the mediums. Now, it wasn't long, as we see here, before P1 was lost. But we were assuming or banking on the fact that the Frenchman ahead was on the mediums. Now, whilst we still assumed that the Spaniard was also on the mediums, it was going to favour us to try and keep him behind, to prevent him running up the road. So we just had to defend a little where possible, which went well. I think this guy's desperate to get behind. He's definitely also on the medium tyres. Left the door open for him on that one. And then almost spun him out of the corner. We were happy to let the guys run ahead, especially since it looked like they were set to fight and cost each other time. What we couldn't have was any more fighting of our own. We couldn't cost ourselves any more time. But Kumi almost had other ideas. Oh, we've been hit there. We've been hit. He can't go for that. Yeah, he hangs fire. Good man. After we survived that, we turned our conversation back to strategy on our pit wall, i.e. our live chat. Right, John, do you genuinely reckon you can get 8 laps out of the medium tyres? Is that actually what we've seen people doing? That feels a bit far-fetched. However, I spent so long trying to read our live chat that I didn't realise Kumi had actually caught back up, not only leaving the door open at turn 1,
but also the garden gate, as well as all the windows.
Right, again, kind of left the door open that one. He's clearly on the medium tyres, I assume at least anyway.
We managed to stay on the back of Kumi for a few laps, which did make me question if he was on the hard tyres or not. We know how great that Ferrari is out of the corners, so it was difficult to know. One thing was for sure though, P1 and P2 were fighting so much they weren't even breaking away as much as they could have been.
Because now that they've got to about 3.4, either they're fighting a bit more, or the mediums has now dropped to match the pace of the hard tyres, which I just can't see happening. But this entire lap we've had them at 3.4, 3.3, now down to 3.2.
The laps kept rolling on and we soon figured that Kumi must have been on the hard tyres, which meant we wanted to get back past him as soon as possible. Luckily for us, this happened.
Right, Ferrari's on ride, watch the rejoin. Try and nip in front here. Yeah. Oh, I just turned across a bit too quickly. I think I sort of overestimated that gap a little bit there.
We survived that one, luckily. And I turned to live chat for some words of wisdom and encouragement.
Race win only. Even though it's not the track that I thought we were racing at. I was absolutely dead set that we were racing at Interlagos. And I don't know how I got it wrong. Right, hard tyres are starting to actually feel alright around here now. Now that you sort of got used to them. And not driving anything too ridiculous. Oh, yeah, they've had a spin. Here we go. We're almost having a spin there. We drifted right the way around that corner.
We closed a bit more after that incident, and it was at this point our live chat called us into the pits to box.
Right, one of these better not bin it into the pits as we go in. Box, box, box. Right, he was on the mediums. Get in! Don't refuel, onto the mediums, let's go.
This was perfect news for us because it meant those guys pulling the gap out in front now had it all to lose when they went on the hard tyres. We just had to hope for clean, smooth running and quick lap times, but the traffic in front of us had other ideas.
Oh, this could really make a difference to our race here. Trying to pull one around the outside of here is never really a good idea. Oh, we're going to do it! Yes! What a move! What a move! We get another move. Hold it. Go. What a move!
We were really happy with that one, and it wasn't long before we caught up to the Frenchman in provisional P3. Now let's remember where we are in this race. This guy was the race leader before we all started going into the pits, so it was now crucial to get past and starting to clear a gap.
Round the outside while he slides, while he drifts. Oh, we're there, buddy. Yes, yes, yes. Go! Get in. Get in. Right, build the gap, build the gap, build the gap. Go, 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 go.
And go, 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 we did. We pushed on as much as we could this lap, hoping to see the race leader come in soon. But when we did, we just had to hope he'd been on the medium tyres all that time.
He's on the mediums, he's made them last. So he drops onto the hard tyres, and hopefully we can just crack on now. We should get past him here, I think. I hope. 46.9. There he is. There he is. Just get out this corner and get out the way, I think. Look at that. They've come. He's come out the pits and they're back side by side.
That was a strategy that couldn't have been any better timed for us. The two race leaders could not create a gap because they were fighting and were now behind us, watching us create a gap while they continued fighting.
And then they're going to scrap, hopefully, for the rest of the race while we try and push on. Oh, one of them's gone off.
We were soon setting faster slaps, and luckily for us, on this occasion, there wasn't much more to our race.
Right, good gap building now. We just need to take this easy. Finish this race. Look at this, 10-second gap to P2 now.
We were heading on to our final lap and still gaining time to the guys behind. We had bagged ourselves pole position, currently sitting with the fastest lap, and at this point crossed the line to take the win. The first of 3 races were won, and our Triple Crown Challenge was off to a great start.
Race 1, P1, pole, and fastest lap. So I was going to call this one, for the 3 races, we wanted the Triple Crown Challenge. We've done the Triple Crown in race 1. Imagine if we got the Triple Crown of race wins and the Triple Crown of fastest laps and everything for all of them. I'm getting ahead of myself now because we've only won 1 race.
This was a very difficult race, and although our aim was to have a Triple Crown of race wins, getting the Triple Crown of pole position, fastest lap and the race win was a great start, but we needed to carry that good performance into round number 2, which surprisingly we did.
Is this an improvement? Come on. Get in!
We even surprised ourselves with that pole position, as the Turkish driver in the lobby looked to have that one claimed. And improving on your second lap is very rare, with the tyre degradation being super high. It did though cause us to have some debate in the chat about which lap to pit.
Oh, we don't know. We can't decide. I'll judge it in the race, definitely though. Depends on who's behind us and all that sort of stuff as well. Overcuts, undercuts, all the technical jargon. We'll consider it all. Right, let's go. Oh, brake balance. Oh, it's already set. Go.
Off we go then. Can we make this one 2 out of 2 so far and keep the dream alive of our Triple Crown Challenge? Let's find out. We got ourselves a great start and a clean first lap, but as we finished lap 1 and heading onto the pit straight, it was clear that our Portuguese friend behind was catching up and meant business.
Here we go. This guy's right on the back. This is the guy that said that he was on the mediums. Judging by his pace at the minute, I would believe it. Oh, he's really early there. I wasn't expecting that.
We managed to hold him for a little while, but he did say in the lobby chat that he was on the mediums. He was probably expecting us to do the same and was sitting behind. It didn't take long for him to realise that I was either incredibly slow or on the hard tyres. Either way, he wanted to be passed. We managed to hold them for another lap. We weren't sure exactly which tyres they were on, but we definitely expected them to be passed by now. We didn't have to wait much longer though, as approaching turn 1, I left the door wide open enough for not 1, but 2 cars.
There we go. There's the dive from both of them. They've gone for it. Now, part of me thinks that they are on the hard tyre, but if they do pull away, then maybe they are on the mediums, and we've managed to do a good job there of limiting their pace for a few laps. Trying not to hit you, buddy.
A few more laps went by and the gap started to grow, so we were now hoping that they actually were on the medium tyres after all. And the fact that we had kept them at bay for a few laps would hopefully benefit us at the end of the race. We would, however, be thankful for any opportunity or mistake that allowed us to close some of that time back, which didn't take long.
Here we go. These guys have sacrificed a little bit of time, battling side by side out the corner. Now, the way that this race worked out the last time was that we were able to stay behind P1 and P2 because they were battling. They were both on the medium tyres. And then we managed to get ahead once we were on the mediums and they were battling on the hard tyres.
We ran out of time to discuss our theories though, as our chat once again called us in for our first and only pit stop of this race.
Nice and steady into here. Don't bin it. Go. Don't refuel. Right, Angelo there, who was in front of us, he was on the mediums, so that's good. And then Bell behind us, also on the mediums. He was catching up. Colin reckons we should have stayed out till lap at end 8. I think we'll see.
It wasn't long before we soon caught up to the traffic for a second time in this race, but luckily for us, the race leader had the same challenge.
Right, and our race leader here, he gets past the chap in the Ford. But he is costing himself time, ending up battling in traffic which is helpful for us. We're going to catch up to the Ford here as well, though. No. Gonna have to let him back on here. Oh, what a killer. What a killer. Oh, now he's tagged that guy.
Now I have to hold my hands up, that bit of contact was on me. I should have thought about the Ford being on worn mediums or hard tyres and braked earlier than I did. We did the right thing though and made sure that he got the place back. It did mean, however, we now had a proper challenge on our hands.
Now we've got some work to do. We've sat and waited for him there. And the guy that we are racing is into turn 1 now, 5 seconds up the road.
Now this Triple Crown challenge is difficult enough in itself, but we might have just created the biggest challenge of the whole 3 races right ahead of us. But the racing gods decided to give a little helping hand.
He's binned it! Oh, thank goodness for that. Right, we've still got, though, the Portuguese driver ahead.
We now had 3.9 seconds to close. Could we do it? Well, luckily, the difference on the hard and medium tyre performance was incredibly significant. So onwards we pushed, and onwards we closed.
Right, 3.3 this gap. Come on, fastest lap currently. 2.4, 2.2, 2.1, 1.6, 0.5. This is fun chasing them down. I've got to be honest, this is actually really good fun. We just got to get past him. We've still got 5 laps to go. 6 laps to go, sorry. We'll catch him. I think so as well. Oh, 45.883 for our fastest lap.
The lap times on the mediums were definitely getting a lot quicker, and as the gap fell, the race leader grew closer and closer.
6 tenths, within 7 tenths here.
We knew we had to start planning an overtake, but given that he was on the hard tyres, we just had to pick a spot that was safe and low risk. This definitely did not include trying to go around the outside of the final corner of the lap.
Around the outside here would just be delightful, wouldn't it? Round the outside there would just be delightful, wouldn't it? Get in! Go! 2 laps left. Take this easy. Actually, the Turkish driver here, who has now ended up in P2, he is actually very, very quick. So we can't hang about too much.
The threat of P2 closing in on us was looming, but so was that race victory. Some of our chat had already got a little bit too confident and started throwing some wagers, or more so threats, my way.
If you don't win, I'll unsubscribe and take everyone with me. I say that is fair enough. That is genuinely fair enough.
With that, we decided to keep pushing. We didn't want to risk closing the gap and giving P2 the chance to overtake, which sounded like a good idea at first.
Yeah, I don't think I'd fancy doing any more laps than this. No, 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 no. Commentator's curse almost got me there. I was too busy looking at the lap times for a second there and totally missed the braking point. We cross the line and we keep it facing the right way. That is a race win. Get in. Race 2 of 2. Pole position, fastest lap, race win. Number 1. Race number 2. Pole position, fastest lap, race win. Almost not race win on that one, admittedly. But yeah, we just got it.
We were now ready for the moment of truth. We just set ourselves the challenge of winning 3 of our 3 manufacturer races, something we've never done before on the channel. Here we are, 2 races down, 2 races won. We've got 1 more to go to conquer this almost impossible challenge.
46.1. Yes, pole. Provisional pole by 4 tenths, shown behind us, 4 tenths, 399.
Now, whilst we head onto this quali lap, if you're enjoying this video or have enjoyed any of the videos on the channel, please do hit the subscribe button, as it goes a long, long way to supporting a small channel like this. It helps more than you know, but unfortunately it doesn't make me go any quicker. Sadly, I have to do that bit myself, which was looking good after getting provisional pole, but in an attempt to improve on our second lap, things went a bit south.
Well, we're not finishing that lap, obviously. Right, we just got to hope and pray we keep it on pole now.
Now, thankfully, our first lap was enough to secure us P1, but Stephen behind was right on our tail. Onwards then to race number 3 of 3. We did know that Stephen was also starting on the hard tyres, so losing time fighting on the first stint was something we simply could not afford.
So we don't want to cost ourselves too much time scrapping here, but here we go. Into turn 1. As long as we come out here still in the lead, then that's the first biggest challenge done. We absolutely do. Right, 3/10. Let's pull a gap if we can here.
Much to my surprise, it wasn't long before we did pull a gap. An incident at the hairpin for the guys behind saw them drop beyond 1 second pretty quickly. So with that, we kept pushing, and come lap 4, one of the medium runners had gained and caught up to us and was looking for the race lead.
Oh, I really did think he was going to get it round to the inside there. I really did think he was going to brake just so much later.
Him getting past is not really an issue, but as we see here, losing time, well, that's a major issue.
Right, that's cost us a little bit of time there, and Stephen's managed to catch up. Now, Stephen's on the same tyres as us. I'm going to guess I'm not too bothered if Sean goes through. I think he's on the medium tyres. Looking at that exit there, that's got to be medium tyres. Right, I'm happy sitting behind Sean here for a couple of laps. Not that we're going to catch up to him, but if we can just sit in the slipstream, grab the odd little 1,000th and 10th here and there.
And we did exactly that. But a few laps later, we got back to debating strategy. So with that, I explained my thoughts in great detail.
Right, we've got 1.4 on Barry here at the minute. Now, hear me out. As long as we keep this gap, I think I'm going to go 1 extra lap on the hard tyres. And the reason being is, like I say, on the mediums, the last couple of laps we had a big gap, so I took it really easy. I don't know if we pushed on those last 3 laps, if we'd actually have the same state of tyres. I don't think that we would do. So, as long as that gap's 1.5, because on an extra lap of the mediums, that's roughly how much quicker he's going to be, then we can afford to do 1 more lap on the hard tyres.
That's that cleared up then. So with that, we headed into the pits for lap 8. This could make or break our race.
Right, onto the mediums, don't refuel. I think he's on the mediums. I don't think there's any cars where you're better off doing more laps on the hard tyre. Right, this works out pretty nice for us. No traffic really to talk of here. 1 car in front, but enough of a gap there that he's not really a worry. Right, how much time do we lose in the pits? What do we need to get this gap down to before he goes into the pits?
We ran the numbers and we soon figured as long as we're below 20 seconds by the time he goes into the pits, we should be more than safe to get the run into turn 1 and come out in front.
Look at that. The pressure. The pressure has got to the Frenchman, and he just bails out of our way. He's got to be on the mediums now, hasn't he? He's got to be on the mediums. We get the gap down to 20.8. Someone's binned it going into the pits.
We continued pushing, with the gap to the leader being our main focus until he makes his pit stop.
20.9, 20.3, 20.2. This is touch and go now for whether we'd beat him out of the pits. 19.9, that should be starting to do it. Yeah, in he goes on the mediums. 19.7 the gap. Hopefully we beat him coming out of the pits. If not, we'll have to get past him on track. And we set the fastest lap. Come on. Here he is here. Here he is here. Right, not as big a gap as what we had in the last race. He's right onto the back of us. Coming out of turn 1. 4/10 the gap.
At this point, I was confident that Sean was no longer our problem. We'd beat him in the undercut or reverse strategy, and our main problem now was Stephen, who was currently sat in P4, but definitely the biggest contender for the race win, which was proven with our back and forth challenge on who could set the fastest lap.
Yes, fastest lap again. Someone had just taken it from us, the Spaniard with a 46. Oh, Stephen's gone and beat it. Stephen's gone and beat it with a rapid quick lap. Actually, Stephen's on the mediums now. He's someone that we're going to have to watch here, look.
Or at least that's what I thought, because unbeknownst to us, Sean was putting in a sterling performance of defending his position for P2, holding up Stephen incredibly well.
Yeah, I need 4 laps just to get into slipstream. I think he's been held up. We are lucky that he's been held up, because I think if he did get straight past Sean, then he'd absolutely be catching up to us and probably putting us under a bit of pressure. We're starting to ease off now and trying to bring it home. Nice and easy. Last lap. Still 5.6 the gap. Sean is... How Sean's defending this, by the way, I got no idea. That must be an absolute masterclass in defence.
We have no idea how he done it, but Sean's amazing work, unbeknownst to him, had us on track to secure our 3rd win of the day. And we were set to take that race win with only the final corner to go, which was almost a sketchy moment.
Here we go to cross the line for the 3rd time in P1. Get in.
And there we go, we did it, our Triple Crown Challenge, but with a good bit of fortune in some places, and more importantly, the amazing help from our live chat for all of our strategy and pit wall decisions, we managed to get our 3 of 3 race wins. I really do hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button if you did, and please hit the subscribe button even if you didn't. A huge shout out and thank you to everyone for supporting this tiny little channel, and until the next video or until the next live stream, happy racing, and I'll catch you soon.